Well guys, I did it again. So every so often I end up getting overwhelmed with how much I bid off on car loans and stuff. So I go through these phases where I just want to kind of wipe the slate clean, and that's what I did last night. I've been tossing around the idea of selling a few of these cars and trying to figure out a way to justify it also by whatever means necessary. So I did end up trading the Camaro, the Challenger, and the 992 last night, and on something that'll be here in about a week. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. It'll be in this video, but I wanted to really put like a nice review out on some of these cars. And I bought this right at the end of the season, so I only got 190 miles around this thing. It was a good 190 miles, but there are things about this car that I didn't necessarily care for. A lot of you guys pointed out already, but the mix match color between the bumper and the fenders and the hood. I don't know if you can see it on from this angle, probably. In that car wash video. Oh, that looks fine. Some of these angles are really quite strange. Some of them pick up different hues. So it might just be like this, for example. See that different shade of white between the fender and the bumper and the hood. It depends on the light. There's like 3 different colors of white there. So between that and this is an easy fix. But the damn steering wheel, if I'm going straight down the road, the steering wheel is at like maybe like a 12-15 degree. That makes sense. Maybe not quite that much. Yeah, right about 12-15. It's, should be straight 12 o'clock. It's barely off, maybe like 12:10 or so. But that's just weird. They could easily fix that. Just again, I'm stretching for reasons to justify why I'm getting rid of these brand new cars. But I have the dealership coming right now to pick these 3 up, and I got to get them all ready. I'm going to keep the mats. I think I can sell them, or just keep them in case I end up replacing them once I catch up on things. I should rewind. The reason why I'm doing this is because my debt. Because I have car payments on all these cars. And the amount I owe on those 2, I have positive equity, but this I have negative. And I didn't buy this just to sell it, in 6 months like I'm doing. But the amount of debt in these 3 combined it's gonna be like a third of what it is. The car I'm trading these 3 in on is worth about a third of these 3 combined. That makes sense. I have really good equity in the 911 because I've had that one for almost 2 years. I have good equity in the Challenger because, thanks to Dave, I bought it at a really good price. And I'll explain more about that one, my justification for getting rid of it, once I move it. But for now, let's start with the Camaro. So we'll park it over there. Ugh, sad. Not crazy about selling that one. I gotta get this Corvette out of the way. Oh no, I just push the button once. So I touched on this really quickly in a previous video, but I cannot justify, kind of like the Camaro, I can't justify those little nuances as a reason to get rid of the car. But unlike the Camaro, I had a really terrible experience financing this thing. The dealership was great. I got it from Granger in Iowa, but the finance company that they used was really, really bad. I've never had this type of treatment from a finance company before. So I bought this car, I got a really good price, less than MSRP by a considerable amount. Surprisingly considerable amount. And so that should have been good. But the finance company, for whatever reason, they did not. I'm going to kind of blame it on the U.S. Postal Service. They've just been terrible for the last couple of years. And I got what looked like to be a final notice from the finance company, Green State, saying that they need proof of insurance or they're going to apply their own. You know, that scam is exactly what it is. And I had insurance on this car since the moment I bought it, including collision. And so I sent them all the information that they asked for, that they needed. And I got a bill like a month later, or a statement stating that they applied their own insurance coverage on this car between the time I bought it to the time they received that information. So even though I had the document I sent them was backdated, it had the date that I purchased it, it had what coverage was on there, including collision, and they claim that Geico, that's who I insure my cars through, told them otherwise. So I got in touch with one of the people at Green State, and they're kind of blaming Allied as their insurance people. But anyway, I got in touch with one of them. We called Geico together. Geico said, nope, I confirm collision on there since May 18th. He's good to go. And that should have cleared it. Now, that was on a recorded line. It was all set. This goes back and forth for like 4 months. I have a whole spreadsheet of data on my computer at work. And sometime after that conversation, Green State or Allied took it upon themselves to call Geico, and they reconfirmed that collision was not on there. So ignore the first attempt, the recorded conversation, and ignore the documents that say collision was on there. They're going to go with what they just heard because it suits their agenda. I don't know. Went back and forth doing the same thing for, like I said, about 4 months. And, I had maybe 3 conversations with Geico that confirmed with Green State. They had maybe 3 conversations without me that confirmed otherwise. As much bitching as I did and as much fighting as I did and evidence as I provided, they wouldn't budge on it. So they charged me $2,200 a month for insurance on this Challenger between May, June, July, and parts of August. Yeah, so it was like half of May, all of June, all of July, half of August. It was like 3 months worth of coverage. So recap, I had Geico coverage on here at I paid $60 a month roughly for coverage on this thing, and I got a loan on it, so of course I had collision, and I had the mileage way low, so that's how I get at such a good rate. Way low meaning like 300 to 500 probably a year is what we get put on this, and they wouldn't budge. So that took all the savings that I got off MSRP basically was a wash, because Green State Allied felt that I owed them $6,600 for 3 months of collision coverage on this car. So not that takes away from this car. This is an amazing car. It's awesome. I didn't put a $5,000 wrap on there just to get rid of it, but I don't know. I want to be done with Green State. I want to have less debt, and I wasn't going to trade one car for one. Like I even talked about getting a Tesla. I'm not going to do it. I thought about it, and they only require one car. They only accept one car for trade, and I wanted to trade. If I'm going to do it, I'm not going to get rid of one car payment just to add another. I want to get rid of 3 car payments, bring it down to 1. So again, my debt's dropping a lot, and this, regrettably, all of these I'm not happy with selling, but this is the right move financially for me for the time being. It's going to allow me to pay off the i4, the iX coming in, the wife's Jeep, the car I traded these 3 on in, plus my home equity loan and some credit card. I got a lot of debt. It's just my income coming to the house, and it's a big family, and I just need to catch up for a little bit. So once I do that, then I'll of course restock the stable with something appropriate, I guess. Maybe another version of this will be out. I don't know. They said this was going to be discontinued like 2 years ago, but last call was supposed to be 2021, and then jailbreak was 2022. Now there's an actual last call, 2023. Who really knows? But I mean, I have a passion for cars. I'm going to continue buying them, using them, cleaning them, reviewing them for you guys. But I just wanted to let you know that 3 of these are coming out. So I got to put the ramps up, and then let's get this out of here. I'll add this then to the backup camera on that Challenger is complete trash. Look how sick this looks, damn it. Okay, these ones are quiet, but still my favorite car. Heartbreaking one. I gotta take off these little painted keys. This is like a $500 option. Have your keys, have this little painted cover on them. Got to match. I bought that after the fact, so it's not the sticker. So it's mine. So this one I am least looking forward to getting rid of. I built this, or I should say I designed this. It took about 8 months to get in. Owned it for almost 2 years. It's the perfect build to me. GT7 metallics, have that sport package on it. There's these nice wheels, the interior with the yellow accents. It's the perfect 911. Always my dream car. And talking myself out of this as I'm lowering it down. God, look at this front one. God, this car is so sick. Surprisingly, the charging sequence is working though. Because every time I come here, if we have a power surge or power failure, this thing stops charging, and then pretty soon the battery dies because I'm not checking it as often as it really shouldn't need to, but as far as often as it needs. Alright, let's get this guy off and then I'll start getting these guys ready. I told the guys too that I've traded this to, so this will be the hardest one to get rid of because you just can't get these cars. I've been asking for a GT3 allocation or now GT3 RS allocation. My local dealer just can't get them. And these I'm hearing these are like 3 years out. Damn it, I keep saying that. This Porsche is the hardest one. Like, they're all really sweet. I love the colors, I love the options, I love how they drive. I really have nothing to say bad about the 911. There's a charging bug that's pretty annoying. And the sequence for this thing, I don't know if I mentioned this, but to charge it, they don't want you to charge it right off the pegs. They want you to charge it through the footwell connector by the passenger side. You gotta turn the car on, plug the charger into the footwell, plug the footwell into the wall, turn the car off, and then lock it. That's the sequence that you're supposed to do, and that's the one I do follow. And every time we have a power surge here, it resets. Unlike the C-Tech chargers that'll just pick up where they left off. I think it's because this is a lithium battery. It just resets, and then the sequence has to be redone. So it's up on top of the lift. That could be troublesome. So every time I come here, I just check to see if the charger is doing as it should be doing. More often than not it is, but if I let it go for like 2 weeks without checking it, let's say it died like the moment I left 2 weeks prior, this battery dies. I think there's a bug for sure. I think the battery needs to be replaced. I think the internal charger, the internal monitoring for the charger I should say, is bad, but that's obviously an easy warranty fix that I shouldn't even be upset about. With mileage, I don't know if you heard, this has 401, that's got 138, the Camaro's got 190. Unbelievable. I mean, granted I bought them at the end of the season, the Camaro that is, but these two I just, God. All right, well, I really hope one day I can build something like this again, preferably maybe a GT3 RS. I already sent the build to my dealer. I just need to wait for an allocation. I just think it'd be a sweet addition to the stable, and then I'll get all my feelings back about missing this guy. But the Turbo S is the most underrated Porsche, I think, and yeah, this one's gonna be missed. Same thing with all of these actually. Challenger is just a badass brute machine that I didn't even get a chance to do a burnout or a launch with. Camaro, same thing. I got too close to the end of the season. I only got a chance to drive it a couple weeks, put 190 miles on it. Good news is it needs to be washed again. I didn't get around to doing that. See, like the bug splatter and stuff still. Won't have to deal with the mix match paint colors anymore. Won't have to deal with the steering wheel being slightly off. I don't know. All right, I gotta get all the mats out of here. I gotta sign the titles. I gotta get the keys matched up. I'm gonna take, I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna take these little painted parts off of the Porsche keys. I'm gonna keep them for when I get that replacement for this, hopefully in the next year or so. So I'm gonna do that all off camera, and then the guy should be here any minute. Camaro sounds better than the Challenger, I think. That guy's smiling. Wow, damn it! First time anybody but me has been behind the wheel on these cars. I don't like doing this. Look at that rural steer action on the 992. Damn it. Oh, she's glistening. Oh, those brake lights.
I never get to see from behind.
Look side, nothing special. Oh, the Challenger's glistening. That rumble. Oh, how clean it is.
Damn it. Sad. Being driven in the snow nonetheless. Sad.
Alright, well I gotta get out of here. I need out of town. Should have left like half an hour ago, honestly. I'll leave the camera here. Next time I come back, you'll see the replacement for those three. That's right, y'all. Traded the three in on a 2023 BMW M8 competition. I went to my local dealer, Motorworks, to look at a Grand Coupe M8, and they had this one there because I thought the Grand Coupe was a little too big, and behind it was sitting this one, so I ended up picking this guy. Not my first color choice. Those who've been watching the channel know, sad, this is all empty ass, know that black is not one of the typical colors that my father and I choose. Just watched that this morning, but I don't know, something about this one really stood out. I don't know if it was because it looks kind of gray in some light. Like here, let me zoom in right here. Look at that. It's almost like a gray. So that's probably what I'm sticking to. Try to convince myself that it's okay. It's gonna be all right. But the interior I thought was really pretty unique and special. Everything that I have has a black interior, but this having that two-tone kind of espresso look. I forget what they call it. It starts with a T. It's a really nice look. Has that soft closed doors. I'll give you guys a little tour here once I clean this thing up. All I did was drive it from the dealership to the toy box last week. Excuse my voice too, it's rasp from paintball. I play competitive paintball, and we had a first ICPL event last weekend. That's why I sound like shit. But let me clean this guy up real quick. Look at this, we got salt all over her. Nasty. Now I will say, as with the rest of the stable, this thing is fully clear wrapped already. That was one of the stipulations that I had. I said, if I'm gonna get a black car, because if you guys know detailing cars, that's why we have, you know, silvers all over the place and whites, because those lighter colors make it a lot more simple, I guess is the best word, to make them look perfect. Like that i4 I just washed, I'm sure it's got some crap embedded into the clear bra, or stuff even between the clear bra and the paint, but you can't tell because it's white. With black, I told these guys to polish it. Now I'm not confident that they did, because they got this thing fully wrapped in less than 2 days. But in theory, they would have polished the entire clear coat and perfected the paint, and then laid the clear bra over it, essentially making the chances for the paint to look, what I'm afraid of it looking like swirled up, very slim. It'd be just in the clear bra, which the new ones now have like a self-healing, so you park them in the sun for the day while you're at work, and all those imperfections should come out. I'm gonna clean this guy up real quick. I'll just do a time lapse, then I'll show you guys around her a little bit. This is almost like the perfect build, minus the color of the exterior, but I'm not mad about it. Obviously I bought it. As I said in the earlier part of this video, I needed to get rid of some debt, and this is not a bad choice by any means. It's almost as fast as the 911 actually, but I'll stop rambling. Let's get to cleaning. because it's boring, so we'll just make this nice and quick. Okay, that's better. It's a 2023 BMW M8 Competition. This is the coupe version. When I was looking at these at first, I was looking at the Grand Coupe. It was just, I think I said already, it's just a little bit too large, so I did go with the coupe. Not my first choice in color, I said already, but we don't have a lot of black cars because I hate how meticulous I am with perfection on cars, and I do clear up all these cars, but you know, you're still going to see the imperfections between the clear bra and the paint. Luckily, this is black sapphire, so it doesn't have, it's not like a flat black. It's going to have some metallic flake that helps break up any imperfections, helps disguise them, if you will, compared to like these wheels, for example. This is the first option that I guess we'll talk about. This is that 5-spoke gloss black rim from BMW. I don't know why car companies insist on doing gloss black anywhere. They should make it a metallic, or in my opinion, maybe a matte. They're not my first choice in rims, but they look really sharp, especially with that sinister look of it going all black. Adding that tint to it really kind of completes it. Come around the front, I'm pretty sure this is standard, but it has those BMW laser lights that are greatly limited in the US compared to over in Europe, but these are really nice and bright. I did drive this at night coming home from the dealership, and just like the i4, they're extremely bright and very responsive. The next package on the outside is the carbon fiber exterior package. I think it just comes with a couple small things. It's probably the only item that's, BMW is very, unlike Porsche, you know, they have options, but they're limited on how many options. Like Porsche, you can do like stitching, seatbelt color, tack color, the clock in the middle. You can do all sorts of different stuff. With BMW, there's only maybe like 2 handfuls of options you can do, and one of them is this carbon fiber. This is probably the more expensive of all the options on this car. Comes with a few bits here in the front, as well as the mirror caps. I think that the roof is standard with the carbon fiber. I could be wrong. That may have come with it, but I know that this little piece here, which at first was kind of comical to me, this little wing in the back. I mean, I think it should have a wing. It looks really sharp, but I don't know. I feel like they could have made it a little bit wider. Maybe brought it all the way out a little bit, but BMW is more elegant than they are rough, I guess. Like, that's a good angle. Like, I don't know, it just looks kind of small. But, I mean, it looks good. Helps break up the trunk a little bit. And yeah, this rear diffuser here, it's also carbon fiber. On the inside, again, there's not a whole lot of options you can do on BMWs. It's basically color. Oh, there's my damn window sticker. I was looking for that thing. It's basically the color of the interior. You could do a more, I guess, enhanced version of the leather, which is what this is with that. I forget the name. It starts with the T. The brown and black interior, which I think looks really nice, as well as the Bowers and Wilkins audio. It's like, I forget how many speakers, but it's just an ungodly amount of speakers in this thing. It sounds really nice. I think next year they're going to be going away from this and doing the same like giant screen like you see in the iX and the i4. It's kind of cool, little light up logo in the headrests. And I thought this was really sharp too, this M8 Competition. And the door sill. Wish it wasn't gloss black, wish it was carbon fiber or something, but whatever. This is a nice feature. I wish more cars came with this. Just that soft close. And oh yeah, this little piece right here too. This is carbon fiber as well. Not sure if that's even functional actually. Doesn't appear to be. But it looks cool. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think this will be a nice addition. I'm not happy to have gotten rid of those 3 cars. The 911, I'm going to get another one someday, but that's my dream car. It's my favorite car. I never thought I'd get rid of it, but I had an opportunity to get free and clear on it and make a little bit. Same thing with the Challenger. Thanks to Dave, subscriber who hooked me up with Granger, I ended up making money on that deal. The Camaro I lost, but my debt went from a lot to not so much. I'm sure you guys know I'll get more in-depth on this as I get some more experience with it, but just some quick facts. It's got a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, 617 horse. So that's what I was gonna say. I'm not terribly upset. I mean, I didn't downgrade by any means from the Challenger and the Camaro and the Porsche. I went just from a super nice car like the Porsche with a crazy amount of performance to this car, super nice car, crazy amount of performance. The Challenger and Camaro, those are just more badass. You know, they sound great, they look cool. I don't know, I'm trying to justify why I got rid of 3 for 1. I think if I was gonna pick one, this is a really good one to pick. I'm really excited for summer to come because the little bit that I did drive this after buying it it was really, it was quite fun. I was pleasantly surprised. It's not a crazy sports car like the 911, but it's not a slouch by any means. It's kind of, I had to compare it to something. I would kind of compare it to the S-Class Coupe that we got. Although I'm pretty positive this is much faster than that, despite it being a V12. Unlike the Taycan, not that this is compared to it, but I can't find an angle of this thing that I don't like. Wow, I've been here for 7 hours already. Whoops. I'm gonna park this thing over yonder, and I'll do a little drone shot, but I'm gonna end this video here. As always, appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.